No life jackets, a rotting, rusted hull that should have never left the harbor, and 750 desperate human souls crammed into a space built for 20. They were told the journey across the Mediterranean would take 3 days, but the moment the shoreline vanished, everyone on board realized they hadn't stepped onto a ship, they had stepped into a floating coffin. On the afternoon of June 13, 2023, the Mediterranean Sea was a sheet of flawless, deceptive glass. The sun beat down with blinding brilliance, casting a golden hue over the water. To anyone watching from a distance, it looked like a peaceful summer day. But out in the deep international waters, 47 nautical miles off the coast of Pylos, Greece, a blue-painted, rust bucket fishing trawler named the Adriana was carving a slow, agonizing path through the waves. The Adriana was built to hold a handful of local fishermen and a modest catch. Instead, it was carrying an estimated 750 human souls. They came from Pakistan, from Syria, from Egypt fleeing economic collapse, war-torn cities, and hopeless futures. Smugglers in Tobruk, Libya had packed them in with terrifying, calculated cruelty. Hundreds of men were shoved deep into the dark, suffocating hold below deck, trapped in pitch blackness with barely any oxygen. Women and young children were huddled together in the center, while the rest of the passengers were crammed onto the upper decks, shoulder to shoulder under the blazing sun. They had been at sea for days. Their food was gone. Their clean water had run out. People were already fainting from heat exhaustion, their lips cracked, their throats burning from the salt air. By late afternoon, the crisis escalated from a slow nightmare into an immediate disaster. The Adriana's overworked, unmaintained engine began to sputter. It coughed a thick cloud of black smoke, groaned violently, and died completely. Suddenly, the roaring mechanical heartbeat of the ship was replaced by a terrifying silence, broken only by the lapping of waves against the rusted hull. The Adriana was now a ghost ship, drifting helplessly in the Ionian Sea, directly over the Calypso Deep, the absolute deepest trench in the entire Mediterranean Sea, where the ocean floor drops down into a 5,000-meter abyss. As the hours ticked away into the evening, the ship began to list. Because it was so top-heavy, every slight movement of the waves caused the massive structure to tilt dangerously to one side. High above, a European border agency plane spotted the trawler. They took photographs, logging its location and tracking its slow, unstable movements. Greek authorities and nearby commercial merchant ships began to monitor the situation. From the crowded deck, passengers could see the distant lights of these massive vessels. Hope and panic collided. Desperate passengers climbed onto the rails, waving their arms, screaming into the wind, begging for help. Some managed to find a signal on their mobile phones, calling loved ones thousands of miles away to say what they feared would be their final goodbyes. The air on the boat was thick with prayers in multiple languages, all asking for the same thing: survival. Midnight came and went, wrapping the Mediterranean in a cold, absolute darkness. The stars offered no comfort to the 750 people trapped on the water. Then, at around June 14, the final, irreversible catastrophe struck. Whether it was the current, a sudden wave, or the sheer weight of the water the ship had been slowly taking on, the Adriana gave a massive, violent lurch to one side. In that split second, instinct took over, and instinct became the enemy. Terrified of falling into the black water, hundreds of passengers on the upper deck simultaneously shifted their weight, rushing toward the opposite side to balance themselves. It was a fatal mistake. The sudden, massive shift in weight completely overthrew the vessel's delicate center of gravity. The Adriana didn't just tip, it capsized instantly. The heavy fishing trawler turned completely upside down in a matter of seconds. A horrific chorus of hundreds of human screams pierced the night air, only to be instantly swallowed by the roaring sea. For those trapped deep inside the hold below deck, there was no escape. The water rushed into the dark compartments, sealing their fates before they even realized the ship had flipped. On the surface, the scene was pure, unadulterated chaos. The massive suction of the sinking ship dragged people down into the depths. Men fought blindly in the pitch-black water, grasping at anything a piece of debris. a floating shoe, each other just to keep their heads above the freezing waves. Within minutes, the Adriana plunged straight down into the deep-sea trench, vanishing completely from sight. The silence that followed was deafening, punctuated only by the weak, fading cries of survivors drifting in the open ocean. They had no life jackets, no rafts, and no idea which way the shore was. They were entirely at the mercy of the dark. When Greek rescue boats and international vessels finally arrived at the coordinate point, the scale of the tragedy became agonizingly clear. Searchlights sliced through the darkness, illuminating a sea of debris but very few living souls. Out of the 750 people who had boarded the ship in Libya, rescuers managed to pull only 104 survivors from the freezing water. Every single one of them was an adult male man who had been lucky enough to be standing on the outermost edges of the top deck when the ship rolled over, giving them a fleeting chance to swim clear of the wreckage. Not a single woman survived. Not a single child was saved. They were all gone, trapped forever in the deep. The Pylos shipwreck stands as one of the most haunting, devastating, and controversial maritime tragedies in modern history. More than 600 people vanished into the abyss in a single night. It remains a stark, heartbreaking monument to the unimaginable lengths to which desperate people will go to find a better life, and the lethal, merciless cost of the global human smuggling crisis.
If you liked our video, then please hit the subscribe button for more entertaining videos.